25,000 of you. That's quite a bit, huh? Hello, and welcome to Q&A 2024 Extravaganza. You wrote in dozens of questions, and we've finally taken the time to sift through everything and give you the answers you deserve. We'll be discussing topics like how to foot the bill, what's our favorite movies, and whether or not I'll call you all kittens. Invigorating stuff. Let's get started. Emmy Bean 77 and Lisa Hashowski ask, how did this all get started? It's a really simple story, honestly. Annalise and I were watching Jigsaw. She mentioned the historical inaccuracy of the TVs in the film, and I decided to do a deep dive into the history of flat screen TVs. Eventually, I found out not only is it possible, it's expensive. And so the question was born, can Jigsaw afford to be Jigsaw? We sat on the idea for about a year until after I had just finished applying for 30 jobs in 1 week and hearing nothing back, I decided to turn that question into a YouTube channel, and the rest is YouTube history. Emmy Bean 77 follows up with, how did you manage to put out such high quality content from the beginning? Well, one, we're flattered that you think this is high quality. Ultimately, this is just the kind of content we want to watch at the standard we're used to watching it. Annalise edited videos in Windows Movie Maker when we were in high school, and I did a few scripted podcasts in college. Together, I think we make a pretty decent channel. It helps that we've also been watching YouTube consistently since the Numa Numa days. Kuro Yukin asks, why the name Kitten Arcader? Any particular reason other than cats and video games being awesome? Well, other than the obvious, yes, cats and video games are awesome. The name stems from our online handles and nicknames for each other. This has always been a joint production, so we wanted to both be represented in name. Now, several of you have asked questions related to how we make Foot the Bill happen, as you can see with all of these questions, but I'll do my best to summarize as succinctly as possible. Kitten Arcader is just Annalise and I. We both watch the movies several times over. I research, write, and record. She listens, edits, and pieces it all together. We bounce jokes and ideas off each other all day long. As for our experts, we've secretly assembled a crack team of cat geniuses disguised as humans who are masters of the arts of chemistry, engineering, robotics, and economics. We meet in a boardroom where we critically analyze each movie on a projector screen and I wish. The truth is, a lot of my friends got much better degrees than I did, and I lean on them for what they've learned. If a subject comes up where I don't know someone with expertise, I find them. Reddit, businesses, forums, you name it. The process of finding information stems from my background. I graduated with a degree in history, where I spent way too much money to learn how to use a library card. So I lean on those years of toiling through dense books to aid me in finding the price of, say, a light bulb in 1998. If we don't recognize something that we see in a movie, we'll take screenshots or send the scene to friends who might. Sometimes I don't find out what I'm looking at until after the video has come out, and that's just the way of things. But I like to think that we get pretty close in the end. I am considering going back and re-auditing some of those early videos with the new knowledge that we've gained, but we'll see how it goes. Now, several of you asked, what has surprised you the most while researching? There's something surprising with each video, frankly, but I also find all of this fascinating. I mean, I love history, I love film, so combining the two is kind of bliss. I think the price of pulleys has given me the most shock, though. It taught me a lot about the prices of American manufacturing and what cheap steel does to an industry. Similarly, my favorite count is almost always the most recent one. I love this series as a viewer and as the person making it. I think Jigsaw might be our favorite recent video that we've done, but I'm also very partial to the FNAF and Pirates of the Caribbean videos. Elec asks an interesting question. Essentially, have the rules I laid out for each Foot the Bill ever had to change? And yeah, kind of. I was originally very adamant that I didn't want to charge for utilities, or as I put it, I'll charge for the electrocution, but not the electricity. Those damn lawnmowers threw a wrench in that rule, since they require gas to run and also fuel pumps, I know. So I had to bend that rule to make that trap work. We had to charge for the fuel. A number of you asked about our relationship with the FBI. I don't mind being on a watch list. I mean, I'm on your watch list, right? And anyone working in journalism or history for that matter ends up on one probably. I feel bad for my friends and acquaintances that I ask for info because their jobs are at a bigger risk than mine if they end up on a list. I have probably met my FBI agent, Greg, but I probably don't know that I've met my FBI agent, Greg. And now, some questions about film and Saw in general. Lisa Hashowski asks, what are your and your wife's favorite movies? Well, we love Tim Burton films. Sweeney Todd, Corpse Bride, Nightmare Before Christmas, Beetlejuice, obviously. We love Pirates of the Caribbean, particularly the first 3. I'm partial to 4, but 5 is problematic. We love Saw, obviously. Annalise is a huge fan of Child's Play. I'm a big fan of the Blair Witch Project and Godzilla. I'd love to figure out how to incorporate more of those movies into Foot the Bill videos or just videos in general, but it's a work in progress. Max Howlett asks, what our favorite Saw movie to work on and watch has been? Well, right now, Jigsaw is our favorite to have worked on, but we're really looking forward to Saw X. I think our favorite Saw films are probably a tie between the original Saw and Saw X. Yeah? Yeah. A few of you asked about traps as well. I think our favorite trap is the reverse bear trap. We built one for Annalise's cosplay of Amanda prior to starting the channel. The worst traps to be in would be any that require someone else to save you, particularly Jeff's freezer trap. No thank you, too chilly. As for our own Saw traps, well, I'd probably build something related to slowly drowning and maybe toss in someone responsible for putting people in debt. There's also a fantastic stop motion animator on YouTube who goes by JLGR Productions. I'll link them here. They have a twisted imagination and deserve love, and they've designed, 13 custom Saw traps and animated them, so go check them out. Ogog asked the very important question, what would you do with Jigsaw's budget? Ogog, we'd buy a house. We're operating out of a shoebox right now, so house. John Kramer can even build the house. I don't care if it has 2 basements. House. The Rabbit Poet asks, how much the budget for Saw 2 would change if we nixed the sarin gas for slow-acting poison instead? So, for anyone not familiar, there's 2 fun theories in the Sawniverse, closely associated with the early Saw films. The first is that Adam is still alive because he is, and because his corpse in the bathroom is always wrong about something. I don't mean like he's saying the wrong things, I mean the wrong ankle is chained, the bullet's in the wrong spot, there's always something wrong. The second is that the house in Saw 2 did not have sarin gas, but instead, everyone except for Amanda was injected with a slow-acting poison. Now, I'm a big fan of the first since it's a fact, less so the second, but if that were the case and they were all poisoned instead of gassed, I think the budget would decrease by, I don't know, around $14,000. I mean, it would just be the price of the chemistry set, right? Like whatever systems that needed to heat the gas to keep it flowing through the house and the chemistry and materials required to make the gas in the first place. Just subtract that and then add the price of a slow-acting poison to everybody's body. So yeah, I'd say about $1,000. Monstrax wanted to give me the opportunity to thank any person I want, and I'm going to thank my wife, Annalise, because she is the backbone of this channel. I'd also like to thank all of you for making this possible. Every day, getting to do this is a dream come true, and I feel like words aren't enough to express how much that means to me or to us. Several of you asked about future things we might cover. Max Howlett asked about scripts. Yeah, I have plans for a series involving movie scripts, but more on that in a future video. Kuro Yukin asks about Final Destination or OSHA. I've been doing research into OSHA and I think I can make it work. As long as it's interesting to me, I can make it interesting for you. And so far, it's pretty interesting to me. Disco Man Sam asks, how far back can a Foot the Bill go? And can a Foot the Bill happen in a fictional universe? If they have a currency, and I can determine the value of things in that currency, and I can estimate their salary, I can make them try to foot the bill. Sugar Bombs Destroyer asks, any chance of returning to cover more Home Alone? Maybe. I just gotta find a right angle to make it interesting. The first Home Alone was super fun to cover and super fun to research, but also difficult to make fit the concept. I think we were a little too early out the gate with it, so it might require some retooling. Fan theory estimates would be a fun way to consider that though, or even looking at it through scripts. L. Hopper asks about action movies. Oh, definitely. Yeah, we want to work on action movies. We're planning to cover the Ghostbusters series, and a lot of what you see there are action movie adjacent topics, so I think that would be a great jumping off point. Ghostbusters, John Wick, covering Batman villains, right? So, keeps it interesting. Penguin Man Erikel asks if we'd ever change the logo for non-horror stuff. I think I'd be down to do holiday-themed feet, like a stocking and a candy cane for Christmas, a pilgrim shoe and a turkey leg for Thanksgiving, like Cupid doing a sit-up for Valentine's Day, but I think ultimately foot the bill will always be a foot. Elvis Press Play asks, are you going to evaluate the Saw video games? You better believe we are, and I'm gonna need your help to do it. We're gonna be streaming the games, and I need your help counting up all the cameras, bombs, powered doors, light bulbs, every shiny lock and bolt. A very generous viewer helped us out in getting a PS3, and Annalise picked up both Saw games in near mint condition from Mercari a few months ago, so we're good to go. Well, once my internet gets settled, then we're good to go, and I'm gonna need your help. All right, rapid fire. Final questions. Snerd Burglar asks, does it jiggle? Sometimes, yeah. F-Bar asks, call us kittens? Kittens? Toonda asks, do you have a question for the Q&A? Yeah, how's it been so far? You still hanging in there? Anything you wish I had answered or covered? Any videos you want to see? Small One asks the most important question. Brace yourselves. It's a two-parter. Do you have pets? And can we see them? Of course! This wouldn't be Kitten Arcade without some kittens, right? This is Ozymandias, and this is his brother Ramses. And they do, in fact, love each other despite sometimes biting each other. They were rescued from a cardboard box on the side of a highway during the heat wave last year in Texas, so Rama's a little doofy. And this is Grayson, he's a sweetheart, and he's turning 10 this year, and these are all of our dead cats. They still hang out, it's fine, we love them. And there you have it, just got your Q-Aid. Oh, what a ride. Man, and we just passed 25,000. I mean, we're already past 25,300 and something as of recording this. So what a milestone. We honestly never thought we'd see. What's crazy is our viewership is only 25% subscribed. So there's actually 100,000 of you out there right now waiting to hop in. What are you waiting for? The next Q&A? Oh, that won't be until 2025. Better get your questions ready for that one. As always, I want to thank each and every one of you for making this happen, especially these kittens and cool cats and feet over at Patreon and YouTube. For $1 a month, you'll get uncensored videos without having to worry about the constraints of YouTube's copyright messes. Imagine that, a video on time? Stunning. It probably doesn't get said enough, but I also want to thank my friends for helping me find a lot of the info I'm looking for. And I want to thank my wife, Annalise, for listening to me talk all day incessantly about light bulbs and the 90s and their inflation rates. Seriously, how do they keep them like that? I don't know. How do light bulbs even work? Someone explain it to me? Explain it to me. I don't know. Anyway, she's phenomenal, and without her, this channel would not exist. And so, with that, what is approximately our first year on YouTube is coming to a close. At least in November, it's coming to a close with the anniversary of our first big video. And, well, I'll see you all real soon. And remember, I'm here to make stuff. If you're here to watch, thanks.